Hey everyone, Ragnamuni here. Welcome back to more Let's Play Gran Turismo 2. Today, on our list of things to get done, we're going to be doing another 3 races. It requires a turbocharged car. So I've decided, instead of showing off the same old Mugen NSX, why don't we build one ourselves? See our money down there? 2103. Let's go Bayside Blue, even though we're going to racing mod the hell out of this. Tune. Let's go ahead and see what this will look like if I race mod it. It's a nice silver, I guess. Screw it, we'll use it. And we are going to want a racing mod for this. Just because it's going to be super useful. Fun fact, I've never used the TCS or active stability. I don't know if they're any good to use. As of this recording, I have effectively been co-hosting a buddy stream of mine. We play a lot of Toontown Rewritten together, and he and I go way back. It's more than just Toontown to us these days. It's more I'm checking in on him, being that that guy that hovers over the shoulder. Adobe Acrobat Reader update is available. Get the hell out of here. I don't want to update right now. You're gonna blow up my screen. So you're wondering, okay, those Skylines that I've been used to racing, like the Unisa Jax, that really boxy one. Those are nice Skylines and all, but I think we can do better. So let's go ahead, drivetrain, drive shaft, get ourselves a level of carbon. Yeah, I've been co-hosting a stream with a guy, and I've been enjoying myself. Now I've been doing my best to try and moderate the chat a bit here and there, make sure it doesn't get too out of control. For all intents and purposes, let's call it raunchy, because it's fine, but at the same time, we're mostly adults for the most part. At least I know I am 25, for God's sake. Alright, engine displacement. Actually, this gets displacement. Good. This doesn't get tune-up, but let's start. Port and polish. It's going to be ridiculous just how great we can get this thing. Engine balance, computer. I am hungry, actually. After this episode, I am definitely going to go grab a little bite to eat, because for whatever reason, I think the coffee's just not sitting well with me today. Muffler is where it gets great. 367. Grab that racing intercooler. So everything's good and as it can be for right now. But then we look at the turbo kits, it's like 486, 587, 673, 774. Ooh, baby. And look at that. We did that for not even 400,000. So those 1 mil racing tuning cars that you need, you don't even need to worry about blowing money on those when you can just make one yourself for a fraction of the cost. Tuned car number 1, test course. Now, the test course does have a bit of a speed cap that you need to be able to hit. Otherwise, you're not winning this race. Let me turn this down a bit because my ears do not want raped. I'm going to go ahead and tune it just like our lovely... It's the only time I ever touch this suspension, just because that suspension has proven to be tried and true. Oh. There we go. For those that have been living under a rock, I suppose I will explain just a little bit of a history of Toontown, because I feel that it perfectly highlights some bullshit business practices from back in the day. So, you have a game that was basically rated E for everyone. It appealed to kids on the market. That's perfectly fine. Kids' games are not uncommon to see. What is that in front of me? Oh, that's the alpha? No. It's not an alpha. It appealed to many kids in the market. It was a great game overall. I spent plenty of time, but it's on a very old. It was on a very old and what I want to say is a bit of an outdated business practice, and that is a paid subscription service. Basically, you basically pay money a month or per year to continue playing the game with members' benefits and stuff like that. I find that concept just a hair bit outdated. That car's coming on me fast. Now you're gonna notice that car will slow down a bit, but at the same time, I'm gonna run into absolutely no problems with that car because while it is fast as a dragster, I don't give a crap about it being a drag car because I can maintain that 211, 215 miles an hour top speed no problem. All right, back to what I was talking about. It opened in 2003. It's a very low-key game. I was on a connection for a while that only had about 1,000 kilobits per second, and I was running the game full speed, no problem. So it's a very old game. Good engine on it, and it's an outdated graphics engine. I think it's Pando 3D with Python coding. But the game, while successful, did have its string of problems. Mainly in the form of updates did not come out as fast as fans would hope for, and once some updates did come out, Disney left it in a state of limbo. After a while, September of 2013, I want to say, the game ended up getting shut down for good, or so we thought, with the revival of fan servers, or private servers, as it were. And there's been no official movement on Disney's part to take these fan servers down, so at this point, I would say we're kind of in the clear. It just comes down to who wants to maintain the #1 private server, who wants to maintain what is good and faithful about Toontown, and who wants to maintain the game in all of its glory, and hopefully improve upon what has already been stated. So basically, bring it back to where Disney stopped, and then keep going as if nothing really went wrong. And it's a big challenge. There have been a few servers out there that have done just that. Toontown Infinite for a while had 3 incarnations. I played the first incarnation, and I aptly dubbed that one Toontown Proud Mode. Because, stupid Nat, get out the way. We're just getting drain flies or something. So that's HKS Drag 180SX. That's quite the drag car there that I had to go against, and it was the big problem car. Funny enough, these cars that I'll be winning, for a moment, they're randomized in what you win. You'll either get a Mines Lancer, a Mines Skyline, or an HK or a Ford GT drag racing car. I think it's some kind of 180. Something along that line, I want to say, anyways. Let's go to Special Stage R5, because I know I can handle this pretty easy. Back on topic for that. So Infinite basically upped the difficulty of stuff you would fight in certain places. The factory was brought back to its old original incarnation of being more endgame-ish. Basically, they upped all the cog levels in there by about 1 to 2. So it was a little bit harder, but not insurmountable, as I found out myself. That is my phone. Excuse me while I wait for it to die out. One thing of being on a low budget and living where you are, you always get phone calls from telemarketers. Wouldn't be surprised if I was one of them cogs in hell trying to tell me about, hey, stop talking about our game, goddammit. Or if we want to use a really old joke when we're teasing Ted from Brain Scratch, don't you want to hear about my Rapidash? All that good stuff. Love Brain Scratch. Anyways, back to it. Back to it. Where the hell was I? Ah, yes, Infinite. And the only reason that I think a lot of people flocked to Infinite early on is because it was more stable than Toontown Rewritten. You had nowhere near the amount of crashes, and ended up maxing 2 tunes on there, gag-wise. Also, 1 trapless, 1 dropless, and I dual-boxed. It was a good time. Until a lot of drama broke out about who's going to release duels first. Infinite kind of shot itself in the ass with all of the drama that surrounded it, and it now ceases to exist after 3 iterations of trying to be revived and whatnot. So, Rewritten is now basically the tried and true formula. We have servers called Project Altus and Operation Desert Storm kind of coming around to try and be the next great Toontown private server. But those are kind of getting shot in the foot, if only because there's just no activity. No one's really... It's not that no one cares about it. It's that Rewritten server has gotten way too much publicity and exposure. So there's basically no contest at that point over which server is the one to play. So because of that, there's not too much more to give Toontown a chance unless it's Rewritten, because it seems to be trying to become the official Toontown, a remastered server, as it were. One second. Okay, that's my CPU fan, that's fine. Let me think of what else to talk about, though. As of this recording, Sonic Mania came out, and I was thinking, gee, I'd like to get it for Steam, but I heard something about a really bad DRM company by the name of Denuvo, or something like that, having installed software on your computer before you play Sonic Mania, and you weren't able to play it offline, which was the biggest issue for a lot of people. And I kind of agree like that. DRM policies are kind of dumb. I get that it's supposed to be anti-piracy protection, but whenever something like that is a mandatory install and you don't want it, that's what we call bloatware. Stuff sneaks itself on with certain downloads, and you just can't get rid of it. It's there to stay. So it can affect your system, and for the most part, that's kind of why I would stay away from the Steam versions of some games. Read up. If it says there's going to be something about DRM policies, such as the Final Fantasy series, more accurately, Final Fantasy VII has a DRM policy where you got to create a Square Enix account, and it saves your stuff via the cloud, via their own systems and such. It's not really a good time. But for the streams, for the most part, for the most part enjoyed the audience. People are actually, you know, taking notice of me, taking notice of Sperry, which I'm very happy to see that. I hope he does well in college. Everything's gonna be a-okay, and just, you know, we're just hanging out, having a casual stuff. Let's see what cars we had. There's a mine's 33 Skyline. Mine's 34. I wonder what the difference is there. Really wonder what the difference is there. God, I am getting hungry. One more track, and then I'm gonna go get something to eat, because it's like I just need a little something to tide me over. I'm probably just gonna grab a burrito or something to chow down on. And yeah, I'm not lying. I ate burritos for some El Monterey burritos for plenty of time this year, coupled with maybe a 30-minute walk or so every so often, and I have lost weight. Coupled with drinking coffee, of course. It appears to be a Lancer in front of me. Think of anything else to talk about in this time span of a race. Maybe I'll do one more just to finish off a certain other yeah, I'll do that. I'll finish off a certain track, rather a certain series, just so that I can get it out the way. So you'll get one more race today. Whether I decide to commentate or talk about anything remains to be seen, so enjoy the sounds of this soothing Skyline engine that you've already heard because the Eunice Ejects is a thing. I'm really late to the party on this one, but does anyone remember that one Kickstarter called Mighty Number 9? I think it was the most infamous Kickstarter of all time because it had fans of the Mega Man series pour in a lot of money in hopes that it would be something truly great. On top of that, once the builds and everything were kind of designed. It's like the initial stuff looked great, and then look what came of it. Like, multiple delays, which I understand delays, but you want the game to be good for quality assurance, but they had to tack on an unnecessary online multiplayer aspect just because Nintendo wanted it. That's terrible. At that point, you would just say, we're not doing that because we don't want to do it. At that point, you just refund the Wii U versions and say, hey guys, do you want a different version? PS4, Xbox One, if PC, if not, we'll give you your money back. Simple as that. That's what I would have done. I'm not having a good time with these turns here. But I heard that when the physical rewards finally got released, aka backers got their boxes, those that got the Famicom box, Famicom box and manual, the manual did not fit in the box, and you had to construct the box yourself. And I believe Pat Contry read it, because I listened to the Completely Unnecessary podcast at times, that the boxes were to come pre-constructed with full-color manuals. The box was not pre-constructed, you had to build it yourself, and the manual was just different shades of blue. That's not full color. We might as well call that blue scale, or grayscale with just one different shade of a color, which is blue. That is abysmal. Like, let Mighty No. 9 stand for all Kickstarter or fan or crowd-funded projects. Don't be like this. Speaking of crowd-funded projects, I think it's called Bloodborne or Blood Rain. Some kind of game that's supposed to be like another version of Castlevania Symphony of the Night with bells and whistles here and there. I'm hoping it does well, just because I remember Symphony of that. I can never back any of these games because obviously I'm poor, extra income, but I'm not going to dwell on that subject. But I do hope that some of these games do end well, because it's like 2017 is supposed to be a good year. I want 2017 to be a fantastic year, and it seems to be a good year for remakes and remasters. I don't think in terms of gaming itself it's been all that stellar. I mean, 2016 was a hell of a bad year. We lost a lot of good celebrities and the like. A Nismo 270. Interesting. Oh. At least these races are passing by pretty fast. Goody. We finish off this. Let's see what our prizes are. Come on. 3 180SX dragsters. That's 750k I can use. Come on. Let's see what we got. Give me them race cars. We got a Mine's R33 Skyline. So that's where the R33 comes from. A Nismo 400. This is a decent car. I like it. And yeah, we did get it. The R33 the HKS R33 Drag GTR. I think this is a Nissan version of that drag car, of the 180SX. So we did get what we were looking for out of that. Very nice. Alright. Let's go tune this thing up just a hair, because I really do want to knock out that race and just be done with it, so it's not just sitting there being all, haha, you didn't finish me, you're gonna suck at these racing events. I believe it's this one that'll be fine. Race, special events. I was right, and it's Trial Mountain, decent racetrack, I think. I like Trial Mountain. It is a beautiful day out, I hate to say it. Oh, funny enough, I found a freaking wasp in my room when I was watching some compilation of Simon Cowell moments. I was like, huh, first wasp we got in there. And I have a huge fear of bees, but I'm actually very surprised that as of late, it's like I see a bee and I'm not immediately flipping out. I just very calmly get out of the room, calmly go find something to kill the son of a bitch for invading my privacy, and kill it before it can stick its 2mm shiv inside me and inject some kind of weird poison that's going to cause swelling and burning. I'm not allergic, I'm supposed to be like deathly afraid, but I feel like as of late it's been less deathly afraid and more annoyingly afraid, because it's like I don't want to be afraid of something like that for the rest of my life, you know? So it's pretty good. When you grow up, you wise up, you mature, You still have your fears here and there, but you'll end up overcoming them. Unfortunately, our Warcraft guild hasn't been doing so hot as of late. Oh no, World of Warcraft drama, But 7.3 did drop. Plenty of good new improvements to it, as well as a terrible time gating system removed from the Suramar quest line. Thank you, Jesus. But at the same time, the friggin' Argus quests are time gated as well. One step forward, 2 steps back, and whoa! Did you see that jump there? And I feel like the defining factor of Legion is going to become RNG. We had RNG legendaries that were considered best in slot for people, and it's like, if you don't get these particular legendaries, you can't DPS effectively, or you can't tank effectively. You won't be efficient. You won't be top tier. Not to mention, everybody, once a new item level jump comes out, they bump up their standards. Tumasar Garrus, before we were asking for 915, 920, now it's 920, 925. It's like, we only want to secure the 1% that have already gotten AOTC. That's an ass-backwards concept. I'm not calling that toxic. It's just, you need to give people a chance. We all want to get up there, but if you never give us that chance, how can we get better? How can we get better? Raid Finder's not doing people any favors. I like that's how people can see the content with Raid Finder, but at the same time, it's really hard to maintain certain guilds, and it falls apart sometimes. And I understand it. It's like, there's only certain hell, I heard Legion got a lot of people to quit raiding because of especially like high-end Mythic raiders, they stepped down from their perches because they couldn't hack it. Numbers were low. What was once hype and buzz for Legion has now become all-encompassing negativity for the grind. All because people want this, people want that, and it's really sad to hear. I want to give Legion a chance as well, but it's like, I honestly think there's not too much more that's going to be holding me to Legion. I'm gonna go ahead and save my game. I'm gonna save my game here because I haven't saved it in a while. I've been using states. Speaking of states, I'm going to get ready to save mine so that I can get ready to record the next episode. After I get some food, of course. Oh man, my stomach was rumbling like I want to say for the majority of 20 minutes. Good God. But yeah, not much more is tying me to World of Warcraft anymore. It's basically just going to become another notch on my belt of MMOs that I've played. Will I look back at it? Sure, it'll be a fun experience, but as we all know, all good things must come to an end, am I right? Anyway, we got the other of those nice cars, the Tuscan Speed 6. So, yeah, the brother of the Speed 12 right here. Speed 12 is way more sexier. Funny enough, somebody wants me to race in this thing. I would love to. I would happily love to. There's just one little problem. I am probably going to hold off because I don't have any more free events that will be progression-based. If I find any, then I'll show it off. But until then, I'll have to wait for a while. Simple as that. Alright, let's go ahead and sell off our cars here. Don't need you. Don't need you. Don't need you. Don't need you. Excuse me. But yeah, that's how you tune up a Skyline, because like you don't need Unisa Jax. If you get 500k, you can tune up one yourself. It's just faster this way because you get it. Alrighty then. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Save state created. And that is going to do it for today, my friends. So let's go ahead and look at the races that we have left, because we're getting closer to the end. We're getting closer to the end. Every day, I need to get rid of these challenges as well. And I have not touched this cup for the most part, aside from breaking the game a new one with muscle cars. We have a lightweight, compact, luxury sedan, convertible, historic. So yeah. Oh, look at this though. 98 horsepower requirements. That's gonna be fun. So I get to go cruise around and see if I can't find cars that can come in here. New cars, because I do want to show off a nice variety. Speaking of which, I might go pick up the Audi. Tune it up a hair just so that I can have it ready. 197, 345, 345, 394. Yeah, I'm probably going to do that for the Audi. Alright, guys, I'm going to stop chatting your ears off. This is Ragnamude signing out. You guys have a great night. Thank you for watching. Take care, and I'll see you next time.